What's going on, guys? Today I am back with some more 2014 Hat format duel commentary. This is another game that was played out at locals in between rounds. Unfortunately, this is only one of the games. There was a bit of a problem with the recording. You'll see a little later on. There was some really bad glare and other things that we didn't notice until afterwards. And with a bit of editing, I was able to fix it enough to get at least one of the games out. But unfortunately, I'm only going to be showing off this one game as I'm trying to improve the quality, and I don't really like having all that glare and stuff kind of ruins the video for me. But anyways, I am here on the left playing Madolche, and my friend from locals is on the right playing Evilswarms. I start off, I win the die roll, and I summon Angeli, use the effect, tribute it, summon H.A.T. H.A.T effect, banish the Angeli, and summon a Messengelado. And here I am going to search for a Madolche spell. I add the Chateau, and then after that, I'm kind of looking over my hand. I don't have any other extenders or anything, so I choose to, I believe I start off by just setting a few back row. I don't activate the Chateau because right now I'm kind of susceptible to H.A.T. I believe I had a breakthrough skill, but that's, H.A.T is not once per chain, so that wouldn't have been enough. And here he normal summons Evilswarm Caster. You can kind of see that glare that I was talking about. I attempt to bottomless it, and he hard drew a copy of Pandemic, which is basically like a Forbidden Lance. So here I was just thinking if there was anything else I wanted to do. I was just double checking Pandemic to make sure of if it affects monsters that are like for the whole turn Evilswarms or just ones currently on the field, which it's just current. So he additional summons a copy of Thunderbird, and he goes into that H.A.T. And here I have to think for a second, and so I figured I might as well try to get all the material off of the H.A.T. So I do chain the breakthrough skill since I'm going to lose it anyways, and he chains the H.A.T. again. And then because my Madolches were destroyed and sent to graveyard, they shuffle back into deck. So that's what I'm doing here. And I believe after this, he just sets a few back row. He sets 2 back row. And then he blind allures. He told me in this he was just being greedy and funny. So he does find a dark, though. He finds a Mandragora, so he banishes it and another trap. And here he's just thinking in my draw phase. And I have Dark Hole in hand, but I don't want to waste it on basically a dead H.A.T. I set 1. And here I was heavily debating if I just pass, because I don't think he can OTK me or anything. He had no cards in hand. And I just set 1 card. And here he's thinking what he wants to do, and he goes into battle phase here. And before attacking, he activates Vanity's Emptiness. Again, there's all that glare. And he attacks. On attack declaration, I activate Trap Stun. And the reason I did that is because by the time the monsters battle, the vanities will be negated, and I had set a fire hand, so I'm able to pop the H.A.T. and summon a copy of that ice hand. And here he went to send the vanities, but then it was like, oh yeah, there's the trap stun, so it stays on field because it's currently negated, which is kind of nice in the position I'm in. And I draw for turn, and I hard drew MST, so I'm able to pop one of his back row. And now, because the trap stun is over for the turn, it will destroy the emptiness. I hit a Blackhorn, which was really important here. And here I go and normal summon a copy of H.A.T. And I forget what he was reading here. I think he was just double checking the effect. And I now activate the Chateau, thinking he might have Torrential, given he was just like double checking something. So Chateau will add the Madolches back to hand rather than shuffling them, so that's why I activate it there just in case. And he did have the Torrential, so it was good that I did that, because when I use the H.A.T. to summon the Messengelado, now I'll be able to add the H.A.T. and Messengelado to hand. I will say I did accidentally do an illegal play here. I didn't even like really think about it because of all the things going on, and there were people talking to us in between the match. But Gelato, because it was no longer on the board with the beast type Madolche monster, it has to be on the field to resolve. So there I shouldn't have been able to add the ticket, but I'll tell you in advance, the ticket doesn't come up. Later on, I'll activate it, but I won't use the effect of it. And so here he drew into a heliotrope, so he normal summons the copy of Caster, and then he additional summons heliotrope, and here he swings in for some good damage. Evilswarm monsters in general do have some beefy stats, so he's able to do, I believe that was the first damage of the game there. And he's just looking over his extra deck, seeing what he wants to go into here, given he has no other cards. And he was kind of like talking through his thought process, and so here he goes for Thanatos, which basically becomes unaffected by monster effects. I think he was afraid of more hands. So he activates it in draw phase. Here I activate that ticket, and I summon the Hoot Cake and use the effect to banish the Ice Hand to summon, and I believe I summon... I actually don't remember what I summon here, because I already have the Chateau on field and the ticket, so those are my only targets because I don't play the trap. Oh, so here I go for the cat, just so I can go into a rank 3. And the reason I had activated the ticket here is because I was expecting to go into like Invoker or something, so then I could potentially have a Madolche on field afterwards. But after looking at my hand, I realized that maybe I shouldn't go for that play because I can't get over the Thanatos there. I probably could have Darkhold, but I wanted to keep it in case I felt really pressured. So here I go for a copy of Mechwhip Engineer. I declare an attack and I lance his monster. And so I am able to run it over, which is nice. But I don't have a ton of follow-up here. Like, I have the Dark Hole and I have a Gelato in hand, but a lot of top decks can get him out of this, especially with like a slow grindy game. So I just kind of sit on that. He draws, passes, I draw Max C, which is pretty much dead here. So I think I just swing in here. I didn't want to use the Gelato in case I, draw something else. I wanted to take it a little slow, especially because, his deck is basically Exciton Turbo. So he draws, sets one, and here I draw Instant Fusion, and I know Torrential is gone already, so I figure I can kind of make a push here. So I activate Instant Fusion, summon the Carbonala Warrior, and I just check his graveyard real quick. I forget what I was thinking he might have. I already saw Blackhorn, so I was like, maybe there's another Blackhorn. So I was thinking what I should go into that, would put me in a all-right position. And I go for Heartland Draco because I have the face-up continuous spell, so he can't target it for an attack, and it puts him on a bit of a clock. And I swing in for some damage, and he's just double-checking the effect, making sure... what it was. He said he hadn't seen that card for a little while, so makes sense. He draws for turn, and it looks like it's a bottomless, and he summons the Mantigorath, knowing that if I draw anything, he just loses. He sets one, and here there was a bit of a misplay, I believe. I summoned the Angeli, which is at 1,000, and because of Chateau, it's actually summoned, and it'll be at 15, so I'm pretty sure he'd be able to bottomless there. I don't know if he just forgot about the Chateau bonus there, but I am able to summon that, attack for game, and that is it. So not the cleanest game, but it was still a pretty good, solid game overall. What I will say in this match is... I misplayed game 2. I did a really dumb play, and he took advantage of that and ended up winning the whole match. But anyways, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.